with Unicorn Beauty. I am going to be doing a get ready with me type video. That is why my face and all of its bareness and glory is in front of you. I had a rough couple days of practicing with my dance partner trying to get back into the sport, and I wasn't taking care of my face, and this is what happens as a result. So I'm going to be showing you guys, real time how I get ready, and that's it. Let's get started. First thing I do is I always put on my lip volumizer before I start my makeup. It kind of gets in there, gives my lips the moisture they need, and it gives it time to set in while I'm putting on the rest of my makeup. So this is what I'm putting on: SeneGence Solutions Lip Volumizer. It's clear. It's a really silky kind of texture to it, really hydrating, really moisturizing, and it plumps your lips. I mean, what more could you want? No burning or tingling or anything like the other lip plumpers out there. Like, you literally don't even know that it's on your lips. So next thing I do is I use the MakeSense Silk Pore Minimizer and Wrinkle Reducer. This is like my primer. I put 2 pumps in my hand. Probably a little bit too much, but it is what it is. This stuff smells fantastic. It just helps kind of even everything out so that your makeup goes on really, really smoothly. Boom. Don't I look better already? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to conceal a little bit, because obviously I have some issues going on with my face. So what I'm going to do with that is use the ShadowSense. I don't know if you can see this. ShadowSense. This is the eyeshadow, and it is in the color Candlelight. Nope, probably still can't see it. Anyways, ShadowSense Candlelight, and what I do with this is I use it to get rid of my bags under my eyes and to hide any imperfections, all the imperfections that are going on with my skin, which seems to be a lot right now. So we have that. And one thing I can say about all the SeneGence products is that since I've been using them, I've seen a huge difference in my skin. Whether or not I'm broken out right now, because that was just, my bad for not taking care of my skin the last couple days. But I have seen a huge difference in the quality of my skin, which is awesome. Okay. Getting everything blended out. I am using a brush that I got from Target by e.l.f. Cosmetics. It doesn't have any numbers or anything on it, but it looks like this. It's kind of like a stippling brush for foundation. It's got, the bristles are really close together, so it really packs in the product to your face, and I like that for when I'm applying concealer or foundation or whatever. So already looking a lot better. Next, I'm going to use my MakeSense foundation. I am in the color Fawn. I put this 1 pump on top of the lid. 1 pump is probably too much. Yet again, for me, I'm using too much product. But, it is what it is. I'm just going to put this on my brush from the lid and just kind of stroke it across my face. Like so. I know some girls like to kind of dot it on their face and then blend it in. I find that with this stuff, since it does not budge once it sets, that if I dot it on my face, I don't quite work quickly enough, and then I'll see kind of the remnants from the dot that I put. So yeah, if you're really fast at doing this, then, by all means, do what you want to do. But for me, I'm too slow. Alright, there, foundation, done. And then I just kind of use my hand to wipe that off. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is do like a little bit of contouring. I'm just getting ready to go to school, which nobody really cares about what I look like when I go to school. So, I'm just kind of doing this for the video mostly, but it is what it is. So I'm using ShadowSense again to do this in the color Garnet. Garnet is like a dark brown with like some red undertones. And I found that for my skin, this is actually a pretty good one to just go in. I'm using the same brush. To go in right here, do a little bit of contouring, I'm just kind of going like my cheekbones right here. This is where blush kind of goes. And then I'm just going kind of right from like the corner of my ear down. And again, you want to work with this fairly quickly or else you will be able to see little dots left from where you put your dots on. It's not too much of a difference. I find it just kind of makes my face look a little bit skinnier, and you know, everyone wants to look skinnier. I also do this underneath my jaw and under my chin to hide my turkey gobbler. And I make sure that I keep this, when you're blending it in, you want to keep it away from, you know, the outside of your jawline, because then your face will just look dirty, which is the problem that I've had with basically every single bronzer and every single contour color for as long as I've been putting on makeup. Every single one of them has always made me look dirty and not contoured. And this is the first one I have found that actually does what it's supposed to do and doesn't look gross. Okay, cool. Now I have like a really defined jawline. I mean, my jawline's pretty good to begin with, but I am kind of fat right now, so yeah. Then I'll just take whatever's left on my brush and just kind of like pack it into the corners of my forehead, make my face look not so wide and stuff. There's really not much left on here. I think I'm just doing it for good measure. So there's that. Now what I'm going to do, sorry, I was sitting on my foot. I'm going to take ShadowSense in Mulberry and use that as a blush. As you can see, I use ShadowSense for basically everything. Using the same brush again, because, you know, why the hell not? I am a licensed cosmetologist. Not that that really means anything, but I've been doing hair and makeup for about 13 years for, you know, other people paying me to. So I kind of have been around a long time in the makeup community, and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of trends, and so I don't even really know what I'm trying to say, but I've been doing this for a really long time, and I don't like to mess around, okay? I don't like to mess around. I don't like to waste time. Like, I like to get in there, do my makeup, because I don't like to do my makeup or my hair, and so I just want things to be as quick and easy as possible and look the best that I can possibly look, putting in the most minimal amount of effort. Lazy. All right, moving on. I'm going to go in now and start my eyes, because my face is as good as it's gonna get. So we're doing Sandstone Pearl, ShadowSense. I'm gonna put this all over my eye, kind of using this as a base. So when I first started doing my makeup, and up until I started using SeneGence, I was using a eyeshadow primer, and then I would go in with like a MAC pot as a base to kind of cancel everything out and prep my eye. Then I would set that with a powder, and then I would go in and finally do my eyeshadow. And with this, it's kind of like all those steps in one. The shadow goes on cream, turns into a powder once it dries, does not budge. I really like working with it. It was a little bit different to get used to at first, because I was not really a huge fan of cream eyeshadows. But, you know, the more I worked with it, the more I loved it. This that I just put on was Mocha Java, which is a really nice like transition color, or a nice like neutral color. I use this when I'm not going to do anything too dramatic to my eyes. I'm just kind of pressing it into my crease with the fluffy side of my double-headed brush that I got from some other palette somewhere. But I found that with these eyeshadows, the fluffier the brush, the better if you're going to be blending them. And then the less product you use and the stiffer and shorter of a brush that you use, you see more pigment in that area. Just kind of like tips and tricks that I've found out along the way. So this is what I'm going to do with my eyes for school today. If I wanted to go in and kind of like increase my crease, if you will, I would have gone back in with Garnet, the one that we did the little bit of contouring with. It's a really nice like insetting kind of color. I'm probably using all the wrong terms. I went to school for this, okay? So, eyeshadow is done. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our BrowSense from SeneGence in the color Light. I don't like my brows to be super dark. I don't like them to have red undertones. I like them to be really taupey and just to fill in where they might be a little bit thinner, if that makes sense. My brows are pretty good, as you can see on their own. I spent a lot of time making them perfect. So, the thing about the BrowSense is that it comes with this tiny, tiny applicator, which is wimpy when it goes to withstand the power of my thick brow hairs. So what I like to do is take the top off. I have taken the stopper out with tweezers before, which was a hack that I saw on one of the sites for SeneGence, but I can do that and dip my brush right into it, or I can just take what's on the side of this and get a little bit on my brush and go from there. I'm using a $1 brush from Target, from e.l.f. And all I'm doing is just kind of going over, just little light strokes over my brows, just to fill in the tiniest bit. I don't like to change the shape of my brows because I work really hard to get this shape. And I don't like them to look overdone. So, just got a little bit more product on there. Because my hair is so thick, it does soak up a lot of product. So I do have to use a little more than most people probably would. And probably because I'm using light, that might have something to do with it as well. I have to build it a little bit. But light came in my kit when I first started using SeneGence. And it's what I have, and it's what I'm going to work with until I run out of this. And then I'll probably buy the next color darker. And if anyone is interested at all in trying my stuff, I have, I have testers of everything, just about. I have a lot of the LipSense colors as testers and in stock. And so if there's something that you think you might like, but you don't know what color, just let me know, and I'll help you figure it out. I have testers of every foundation color. So we should be able to find a good match. And the cool thing about this foundation is it oxidizes. So it actually kind of works like that color match foundation where you can be like a shade or two off and it will still look okay. Okay. Brows usually take the longest for me. I'm obsessed with brows though, so. This is just yet again a $1 little spoolie from Target, e.l.f. Cosmetics. I really like their brushes. They're all about $1 and they do what they need to do. I don't need anything super fancy. I was using a blender brush before I started using this stuff. I don't really like the blender brush, the little sponge thing. It's not really my favorite, so I stopped using it. So yeah, so we're done basically with this. Is almost all completely done. I just need to do my eyelashes. I don't think SeneGence has an eyelash curler. If they do, I'll probably get one next. This one is, I am pretty picky about these. This is a Tweezerman one, so I did spend a little bit of money on this. I am pretty picky on my eyelash curlers because I don't want them to snap my eyelashes off or just not work at all. Two of my pet peeves, not having eyelashes and not having curled eyelashes. I used to get eyelash extensions because I know somebody's going to ask me about that because I was all about them for a long time. However, I am poor, so I can't afford to get them anymore, or else I still would because I loved them. Alright, I'm using LashSense in black. I always use black mascara because my hair is really dark, so it would look kind of funny if I used brown, I think. But if your lashes are lighter than mine and you want to go for a more natural color, by all means, use a brown. I think they have a blonde color too, but don't quote me on it. I could sit here for like 12 hours and make my eyelashes perfect, but I think they look pretty good. This mascara has been surprisingly great, and it's waterproof, but it's not drying. Most waterproof mascaras make me feel like my eyelashes are super brittle and that they're gonna break, and this, like, they feel hydrated all day. It does not come off. I've spent many a sad drunken nights crying with this and it hasn't moved, so this is your girl telling you it works. So there's that. Next, final, lips. I always do my lips last just because I don't want any of the makeup to get like in the LipSense and break down the color. So I've got my witch hazel, got my cotton pads. Even though I've been kind of steering away from using the cotton pads because they've been kind of coming off on my lips. This particular batch of them that I've been using have been leaving little fibers on my lips, and then that gets in my LipSense, and then I'm trying to pick that off, and I end up picking off my LipSense. So I just wiped it off with my sweater just to not have any fuzzies at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be able to talk too much through this part obviously, is I'm going to use First Love, which is this really nice like neutral color. It's like the most popular color SeneGence has, and then Pink Champagne over the top, which is kind of a sparkly like nude color as well. So we're gonna be nude today, nude and natural. Shaking my stuff up horizontally. All right, 3 coats. I'm gonna do 2 coats of First Love, 1 coat of Pink Champagne. Nothing. Kind of looks like something on the camera, but there's really nothing there. It's just gloss. So, easy peasy, everything's SeneGence. I'm covered, I feel good, I'm ready to go. It's got great wear to it. You'll notice I didn't set it with a powder. I don't really feel like I have to with this stuff. If you do feel like you have to set it, or like if I'm using like a lot of blush and a lot of contour, it's just kind of part of like the next step is to set it with powder. And if I feel like I need to do that, then we do have a powder. This is a natural. Basically what you do is you just shake it. It comes out of this thing. You can see there's a little bit of powder poofing. And you just kind of move it around. Super fast, super easy. And it is good. Like, I do like the powder. I just really don't feel like I actually need it most of the time. So, you know, it is what it is. If I was an oily person, I would probably use the powder. I'm not. I'm more normal to dry. So, yeah, that's how it is. If you have any questions, you can email me at info@unicornbeautyco.com, or you can go to unicornbeautyco.com, the website, to look at products. You can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram at Unicorn Beauty Co. I also have a Twitter that I don't know how to use, but you can find me there too at Unicorn Beauty Co. And yeah, that's it. Thanks guys. Peace, love, and lipstick.